Let's talk a little bit about physics, and in particular about a sound of a whip in the hands of a master who knows how to handle it. What is the source of a very loud cracking sound at the end of a whip movement? Well, it is an effect of a tip of a whip breaking a sound barrier. The reason for this is simple and scientific. In the beginning, a large mass of a whip handle, moving with normal speed of the hand that holds it, carries a certain amount of energy. As the movement goes on, this same amount of energy is transferred to smaller and lighter segments of a whip, while the heavier segments stop moving. The energy conservation law dictates that the lighter segments should move faster to carry the same amount of energy that the heavier ones had. And the closer to the tip, the faster segments of a whip should move because they are made smaller and smaller towards the tip. Finally, the speed of a tip becomes so high that it exceeds the sound barrier, and we hear a crack. The reason I bring this up is because this is the science that's related to the movements of the top pro tennis players, the effortless forehand of Federer, the perfect volleys of Sampras, the big serve of Roddick. Inasmuch as a whip unwinds itself to ultimately transfer a certain amount of energy from heavier to lighter segments, thus causing faster and faster movement of each consecutive segment, the body of a tennis player initially wound up unwinds itself and transfers energy from an entire body to its upper part to an arm and finally to a hand and a racket to force the racket to carry entire load of energy from the whole body. And as an untrained novice cannot properly handle a whip, a person that cannot master this winding, unwinding of the body cannot play on a really high level. And this is the only science that I've discovered that can actually make understandable and achievable this nonlinear game of the pros.
So we take this science and now we can understand all the graceful round movements of the pros. Even the volleys, they're not a punch and a block. It's more, see this? It's really more of a full body shot. And the overheads and the serves, they're all done and can be explained with this very intricate and comprehensive science. The science of infinity, right? So I'm in this dynamic balance here, right? I'm waiting for return to serve. See this? Swing. Or I'm going into a serve. See this? Going into a serve, or I have the nice, relaxed, graceful volleys. See that? Pow, pow. Or the one-hander. See that beautiful, fluid one-hander. It's not taking your racket straight back and pointing your butt at the fence or wherever they say. It's actually a full body movement on the one-hander and the forehand. And Federer's forehand, see this? Federer's forehand can be explained the same way Nadal's forehand is. See that? It comes right out to the camera and it fades up for Nadal. For Federer, he rises and he comes out to the camera and finishes on this side most of the time. So all the great strokes can be explained with this science. It is really an all-encompassing program. So you can't just take one little piece. It'd be like shooting a picture of a flag in the wind and saying that that picture explains something about the movement of a flag in the wind. It does not. This is an analog system based on the science of curves, the science of the spiral vortex, the science of the coil. If you're really interested and you're serious about playing the beautiful non-linear game of tennis, please visit me at theschooloftennis.net or come see me on Facebook.